We've worn matching tops today, matching sets.
Yeah, not even tops, shorts.
The shorts as well. Brilliant. This was supposed to happen.
It was.
You went to Thailand recently.
I did, yeah.
What was that like?
It was very luxurious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went for a month, April 24th, and then came back May 27th. It was like 33 days. It was very, very nice, very hot. Such a broad thing, so it's very specific.
Okay. What do you think the difference in the culture was like between maybe the UK and Thailand?
I'd say they seem much more happy. I mean, obviously that's how I perceive them. They might not be. I mean, I don't know what it's like, but they come across more happy and they're much nicer. And we learned that we spoke to one guy and he said that because of the fact that they're Buddhist, they believe in karma. So like 90 something percent of the population is Buddhist. So obviously they believe in karma, which means if they do good things will happen to them. So they're always open to being helpful and kind. You don't often see them doing anything that was like rude or bad because they believe it's going to come back to them. So just culture-wise, they seem much more happy. They seem much more nicer with like the simple things. But still, I can't judge that from my view because I know that they're working like 24/7. They're living in like not really good houses, but from how it appears to us, they seem happy. But obviously, that's only our point of view. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah, I mean that happiness and gratitude thing is something that I came across when I went to Africa. So when I went on my 2-week, this is years ago, I'm still milking it, but when we went to the NCP village, the neighborhood care point,
yeah,
we were playing football with the kids on the first day that we got there, and it was like they didn't have the things that we had. They didn't have the sort of experience that we could have.
Yeah.
Yet they seemed so much more happier and somewhat satisfied with the position they were. And then it had me wondering, maybe is it because they haven't had exposure of what else is out there?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a part of it.
Yeah, I guess if they, I mean, you can't like miss what you haven't had. So yeah, like, if I'd never had a phone, I wouldn't miss having a phone. Or if like I'd never had a hot shower, I wouldn't miss a hot shower. So it's like, it's hard. It's probably, in a way, it's pretty hard for us to be happy because we have so much good stuff and people around us have so much good stuff that you like almost just constantly want more. Whereas everyone around them is kind of got the same thing and the same experience and they all manage to be happy. Whereas over here, I feel like it's kind of more like, let's say, the rat race. It's like people just want to get more and more and more for like social status and stuff more than just being likable.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess so. There's a sense of comparison that just exists between everyone, at least in the Western world, and there's not much there.
Yeah, and it's all like materialistic as opposed to like chasing, I don't know, something like, for example, like in Thailand, the Buddhists is like doing good things, good karma, so they're chasing something that's more beneficial socially, and then like a new car and like new clothes and things like that. So I feel that's probably why they come across as more happy, because they're not super materialistic as such.
Yeah, I guess so. And maybe they've just accepted they are.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess they probably not even accepted. They probably just, they've settled with it, and if like it's their norm, so it's not weird. Like it's like saying 500 years ago, when in medieval times, was no one happy because conditions weren't as good. People were happy with what they had, and just it was kind of matched to what, I can't word it right. I feel like we have a higher standard for what you need to be happy over here, whereas there it's different. I hear people are like, oh, to be happy, you need to have a good job, you got to have a house, have a mortgage, have a car, and things like that. Whereas there it's pretty more like just being with the family, I suppose.
Well, then I wonder, is it because there's a defined checklist for what it takes to be happy in the Western world, where it's like, if you have these things, then you're allowed to be happy.
Yeah.
Whereas I guess in places like Thailand, which aren't part of like Western society, it's more, you can be happy through other ways and not have the same things that someone else does.
Yeah, exactly. I think here it's, we've got this idea of like, if you see someone that's in a really difficult position, but they're really happy, people are like, why are they so happy? Like, it's because they haven't got what people think makes you happy. Yeah, there
was there's a parable of the Mexican fisherman. I think I may have told you this already. the parable of the Mexican fisherman. So a businessman is on his travels in Mexico and he meets a fisherman. Given the businessman's free time, he decides to ask the fisherman, "What do you do to spend your time in a day?" The fisherman exclaims with delight how he spends most of his hours in his day fishing, and the rest of the day he spends drinking wine in the sun and playing music with his friends.
Yeah.
The businessman, appalled at the way the fisherman spends his time and his approach to time management, he says, and he offers a piece of unsolicited advice.
Yeah.
If the fisherman worked harder, he said, he would be able to buy a bigger fleet of boats, pay someone else to do the fishing, make millions, and finally be able to retire.
Yeah.
And the fisherman says, "Okay, what would I do then?" And then the businessman replies, "Well then, you can drink wine in the sun and play music with your friends." But it's this idea that
he does it anyway.
You do that anyway. He doesn't need to do all these extra things to get all this material.
As well, the scarcity of it makes it more enjoyable, like, because he works the whole day and then he gets to enjoy wine. Whereas if he had all the free time in the world, it wouldn't be special anymore, because it would be like he could just do it anyway. So there's no hard work before he gets it. So if that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
what makes it better, is that, like, if you're unemployed, all your free time, you probably get bored and you don't know what to do. Like, if you haven't got something to do or something to work towards, then free time isn't important to you, because you don't have free time. You just have all the time in the work. Whereas if you work full time, the weekend is the best time, because you don't have any free time throughout the week, and then the weekend comes, and that's what makes the weekend special. But if people didn't work, the Saturday, Sunday wouldn't be important. It'd just be another day, because you have time anyway.
Yeah, that's interesting too.
That's like, I don't know if you have, or some people, like, I've spoke to people before where they know people that work all the time, and then when they retire, they literally just die. Like, they literally just die. They go from working all the time, being active all the time, and then they retire, and it's like a shock to their body. It's like, oh, I'm not doing anything anymore. They should fucking die. Literally.
Wow, because
they're straight up dying.
Not doing anything.
Yeah, it's like they've gone from constantly being, like, active and to having no time and just sitting around, and then it's just like, oh, and then just boom, dead.
I see. It's a strange one, because we're all working for this, like, we're working for more freedom, more free time, and then we think that's the thing that's going to make us happy.
But the reason it's special is because you don't have it. If you have it, then it's not as special.
Yeah. Alex Hormozy has something about this, where he's like, you don't want an empty schedule.
Yeah.
You want the freedom to put whatever you want into that schedule.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly the way.
Good way to put it. Like, now I don't really work much. I only do like 20 hours a week. So I only work part time, and then I help out at home quite a bit. Like, I babysit my brothers. So it's not like I don't have free time, right? But, you know, because I work in the evenings, when it gets to, like, the evenings, like, oh damn, I do like a late shift, so it gets to night, and I'm like, oh, it'd actually be so nice to just relax at home. And I don't even work loads, but so it's hard for me to try and say about, like, getting free time is so valuable, because I have a lot of it anyway. But even when you just don't have a little bit of it, you realize how much, like, it actually is worth. You'd rather just be able to do what you want, but then when you can do what you want, you don't know what to do anyway. So, like, I might have a full day. I go to the gym, and then it's like, oh, what do I do now? Go home and cook, and then what? Just sit down, like. So yeah, I think it's just, if you have interests as well, to fill the free time, but you can only have so many interests and things before it becomes almost like a burden, and you start trying to, like, see things as, like, tasks as opposed to just something enjoyable.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's very similar to that ethical experiment you told me about yesterday.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah, like modern day problems, like first world problems. They showed a group of, like, people, I think it was like something stupid, like 800 photos of faces that were threatening and non-threatening. And then people's judgment was pretty normal. If the face was threatening, it was threatening. If the face wasn't threatening, it wasn't threatening. And then towards the end, they made the faces, pretty much all of the faces weren't threatening, but people began to say they were, because they were becoming, like, picky about what they were looking for. And then they tried it with ethical studies and unethical studies, and they got the same thing. They had even amount, and then at the end, more ethical studies, and people were just picking at the ethical studies. So if anything they thought was slightly off, they'd throw it in with a bunch of unethical, because I can't remember what it's called, but basically the more exposure you have to, like, good things, your problems become smaller. So the small problems become big problems, and you just pick and look for problems. Whereas if you've got none of these good things, then you have like genuine actual problems. I can't word it, but I explained to you, I sound like I'm talking crap, but I don't know how to word it. But the point is, modern problems, like I said about the guy who went on the plane, he hated flying before he went to the Arctic for a month. When he got on the plane there, he hates planes, he hates the chairs, they're uncomfortable, he hates the toilets because they're cramped, and then he lives in the Arctic for a month, where you've got to walk outside the toilet in the freezing cold and take a rifle because there's like dangerous animals. There's no hot water. The bed's so uncomfortable. There's no proper chairs. So after the month when he flew back, the plane was like practically like luxury, and he appreciated it because you've gone from having like a real problem to then something that's actually like amazing. Like the fact that we even have planes in the sky that you can sit in is like ridiculous, but people complain about. But I myself, like when I get on a plane, oh, it's so uncomfortable. I have to sit next to someone. I've got to like shuffle around as if I'm not in like a metal tube that's going through the sky at like 500 miles per hour to another country to have a luxury holiday. And here I am sitting, and you're like, oh, this plane chair's so uncomfortable. Like, oh, that's so like that's like as if that's a problem. But yeah, I just think obviously it's like another thing that the human brain becomes like accustomed to a circumstance. Like the more money you have, you get used to it. So it doesn't mean anything after a while. It's like the same kind of thing.
Yeah, it could be a reason why stuck-up kids exist, you know?
Yeah.
If their parents provide them the luxuries.
Yeah, or they become messed up and weird, and they get like weird fetishes. Like, it sounds stupid, but when you have so much money, it sounds stupid. But like when you look at Dubai, there was the whole thing about the princes that were paying women to like eat poo and stuff. Because
what?
Yeah, like when you have, I feel like all like weird celebrities. I'm not going to get into conspiracies and that, but I think when you have so much money and you can experience everything, they become so numb to it. It's like, what can I do now that's like going to give me some sort of stimulation? And they start to get a bit weird. Like it starts to get like you'll hear about which like Hollywood cults do really weird things and whatever. Like Diddy, for example. Like when you have so much money, and you've had all of the luxuries the world can offer, they don't do anything for you anymore. So people start to maybe, not everyone, but I'm sure you start to just look for messed up things that can give you some sort of like hit in the brain, because their dopamine is so like rinsed from just having everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like stimulates them anymore, so they have to get a bit weird.
Yeah. That's exactly what happens to porn addicts, isn't it?
Yeah.
They start watching porn.
Normal porn, then they end up watching some like weird like.
Yeah, it just spirals down even worse, and it's because they just need an extra hit.
And then they can't talk to a woman or like get a girlfriend because they have such a messed up view on what it is that nothing stimulates them but porn. So
yeah, it's distorted view on, and it's like, why put the effort to go after something that's real when I can literally just go on my phone and get it there instantly?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I mean, but it's becoming less of a problem. I assume it'll become less of a problem with the Online UK Safety Act, you know?
Yeah, but that's also getting used to other things, isn't it? Taking the mick a little bit.
Taking the data, and then there's a Spotify thing as well, where it's like you had to verify your age on Spotify.
Yeah, they're not just using it. I feel like it's more of a cover up to like, oh, we're doing it to protect kids, but in reality, it just gives them the power to censor everything. Like I saw videos of like, you had to verify your age with like your ID to watch videos of like a protest. Like as if that's protecting children, yeah. Just stuff like that. I think it's more of a cover up. But the whole porn thing, I think people are more aware of how bad it is nowadays. Like I don't really know anyone anymore that actually watches it. Like I don't. Obviously, when you're like a teenager and like 13s, you like look at it a little bit and all that. But I stopped when I was like 15.
Yeah.
Because you just know it's weird and it's not good for your brain and all that. So I don't know how we ended up on.
Well, bro, it got there.
It's just one of those modern problems, isn't it? It's like first world problems. Compare it to like a third world problem, like, oh, I need water. I'm going to have to go on a trek for like miles and miles to get water that's not even clean. We just go to the tap. But, oh, water tastes like nothing. I need to go to the shop and get Pepsi. Oh. Or like, I need to go to the shop, get Coca-Cola, get something else. It's, oh, I've got to walk to the shop now to get it.
Yeah, it's just...
Whereas they have to walk miles to get water anyway. And we have to like drink water from the tap.
Like it seems like such a... It's a champagne I guess everyone in the first world country is experiencing champagne problems. I know we look up to successful people and who complain like, oh, I don't know what to do right now. Like, I have this money and like I don't feel happy with the success that I have. And we look at them and we're like, oh, but if we had it, we'd be happy.
Yeah.
And I guess that's also linked to unteachable lessons. But disregarding that, in terms of the first world problems, it's something that we're all facing. And if you're living in a country where you've got a house, you've got air conditioning, you've got fans, you've got heating, you got water coming out your tap.
Yeah.
You have champagne problems.
Yeah. You solve a problem, but then you create a problem because of that.
Yeah.
Like you solve a problem of being hot because you have aircon, but when you don't have aircon, the problem is that you don't have aircon.
Yeah.
It's like you just make a problem for yourself by getting used to a nice kind of like something. When you're used to something nice, then not having it is a problem. Whereas if you just never had it in the first place, it wasn't a problem. But I have a fan next to my bed now, and I can't go to sleep without the fan. Oh, like pretty much. Well, I can go to sleep without the fan, but I'd much rather have a fan.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. And this, it sounds stupid, like it's big deal, whatever. He's got a fan next to his bed, but if I'd never got a fan, I wouldn't need a fan to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So you get something nice, and then you just become almost like, you rely on it or something like that.
Yeah. You end up becoming reliant on that particular thing.
Yeah, it becomes like a crutch or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could take that into many things in my life in particular. Like even if I think about like the cameras, there's 3 cameras here now, but when I started, I was dealing with one camera and I was okay with that. But now if I had to deal with one camera, I wouldn't be okay with it. It would be a problem. So I completely get what you're.
And then as you have 5 cameras, you won't be able to deal with 3.
Yeah, literally, that's exactly that's my future. You just predicted it.
Yeah, you should have 20 cameras now, every angle possible.
But I wonder whether is that something that you experienced when you came back from Thailand? Where it was
I actually, one thing I noticed, me and Ruby both noticed, is when we got there, the first, like we was driving literally through Bangkok and we were like, oh my god, this is the insane thing ever. Like look at those little hills, or look at these buildings. Then after a week, you up into a beach that's really nice, and then you go to another beach that's not as nice, and you're like, oh, this beach isn't as nice as the last one. It's like, hold on a minute. I mean, you never get this in England anyway. And then you start comparing, well, me personally, we did, like we was guilty of it. I'm not saying everyone will, but you go to a really nice beach and then you go to a beach that's not as nice, and then you're not as happy with it because you're comparing it to the beach before, as if you're not on like a tropical beach anyway. You're like comparing it to the previous beach, and like, instead of just appreciating it and enjoying it. Like when we came back, we both said that we wish we'd appreciated it more while we was out there, instead of like comparing it to previous places we've been to. Like you go to one place and you're like, oh, this isn't as good as the last place, or things like that. So yeah, I'm guilty of it. I think pretty much everyone is. I won't sit and act like, I'll talk about it and say it's a problem, even though I do it myself. Like I hate this, but it's just one of those things. But yeah, like when you saw how happy people were with like nothing, it's like, what actually is my problem? Like what problems do I actually genuinely have? So yeah.
Yeah, what habits did you think changed when you went to Thailand?
Habits, yeah. I think before I went to Thailand, I was like really like regimented of like taking my supplements or like having food at certain times. And then when I was out there, I literally, it just went completely out the window. Like I went to gym like 3 or 4 times the whole time. Ate when we was hungry, ate what we wanted. Like I wasn't thinking about it all the time, and I didn't see a reason to. Like I'm away for 30 something days, and then I go back to normal life for years. So I was like, what's the point of being so like, well, we need to have this at this time? Because in reality, it doesn't actually matter. Yeah. Like, and obviously when it comes to that gym and like Sheila said, goals, it matters. But in terms of like life, I was like, there's no point stressing over, oh, I need to have this meal at this time, these supplements in the morning. Like, I just got a multivitamin, that was it. It wasn't that big of a deal. I literally didn't care when I was out there at all. And I thought I would beforehand, but once you're out there and you realize there's like more exciting things and nicer things to experience, like I wasn't doing like my normal habits or normal things because it was like there's so much better things to do and enjoy than be like, oh, I've got to go to eat right now, or like things like that. Just more like my routine changes in, well, obviously it's going to change because I'm on holiday. Yeah. Things that I thought were like a big deal aren't a big deal, and now I'm not as bothered by it. at home, like if I'm hungry, I'll make sure I eat something and I eat good still and I eat as much as I can, but I'm not like stressing about what time I eat. Like I used to have, I had this idea in my head that no matter what, I had to have 2 meals before I trained. Yeah, so I had to have breakfast and then like a mini lunch or something like that. And if I didn't have it, I got in my head, I was like, oh my God, well my workout's going to be terrible. I'm not going to get a good pump, like all this crap. As if I hadn't just had a massive breakfast. So I'd have like a big breakfast and then an hour later, because I'm going to the gym, I try and force like rice and something down. It's like, what is the point? Like I didn't enjoy it. I hated doing it. But for some reason I forced myself to anyway. And then I came back and just haven't been like that at all. I have my big breakfast with like some fruit and stuff and then go to the gym. It's just, instead of like waiting to like do something else. But again, that's another first problem. Like, oh my God, I had to have 2 meals. Like, oh, poor me. Like I had to have two meals before I went to the gym. But just little things like that. Like I wouldn't say I didn't really go out there and become enlightened like some of these people that go out there and they would come back and they're like grounding and taking mushrooms and all that crap. Because we didn't stay in hostels and things like that anyway. We stayed in hotels like it was a nice holiday. And then didn't go out there to like become spiritual and stuff. Just like enjoyed the food, enjoyed the country, like enjoyed the views and relaxing and stuff. So yeah, I haven't really changed massively since going away. And obviously after a while it wears off anyway. Yeah. Like it was months ago now. So any habits that I probably did have, well, like I say, gratitude for certain things have probably gone when they shouldn't have, but it's kind of inevitable. I wasn't out there for months and months and like living in hostels and talking, like living with locals and all that kind of stuff. I just went for a nice holiday. So it wasn't, because a lot of people here, I'm going to Thailand and they think, oh yeah, man, I'm going to be like so enlightened and I'm going to come back and I'm going to be doing yoga and stuff like that. Yeah, no, it wasn't like that at all. It was just a holiday. It just happened to be in Thailand. So yeah.
33 days is a very long
time. It was a long time, but people say like traveling. Obviously, we went all around Thailand, and we did like backpacking. But yeah, we still stayed in hotels and things like that, and was there for. So we did travel, I guess, because we went all around the country. But it wasn't like people here traveling, and they think of like literally like one backpack, staying in hostels, all this kind of stuff. That like I don't know if that's what I think when I hear it, but I'm sure it's kind of the idea most people have now. If you say you're going traveling in Thailand, it's kind of that kind of thing. But yeah, it was more just like we did like day trips, like group day trips and like hikes and just chilled on the beach and ate at different restaurants and things like that. So just enjoyed it more than anything. And I thought as well before I went out there, because I'm so used to make some content, I thought to myself, oh, I'm going to go on holiday, I should definitely make some content out of this holiday. And I got there, I was like, I literally don't care about making content. Look, I'm going to shoot on holiday. Like, I don't care. Like, everyone is making Thailand content. Like, I just didn't think about it from what I don't want to film right now. So yeah, I'm not going to ruin it by trying to like film my food or like film what I'm doing. So yeah, I just literally just enjoyed the holiday. That was it. And obviously, like I said, there's times where I didn't appreciate things, but I can't change that now. So yeah.
Yeah. So there was no point of going on your phone and ruining at least the present moment while you were there.
Yeah, like I thought I was going to do like a try to bulk one in Thailand videos. And then when I went out there, like I didn't want to spend time stressing about food. Like, oh, we've got to go and eat because I need to film bulking one in Thailand. You know what I mean? So just, I had these ideas before I went out there, what I would do, but they completely changed when I was out there because I was just like, well, this is so amazing. I'm just going to enjoy it instead. And then I can remember it as opposed to like regretting it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's strange because even earlier you mentioned about how you didn't have to eat. When you came back, you stopped eating the 2 meals before the gym.
Yeah.
It's strange because it's like you went to Thailand, you came back and it removed all your superstitions about things.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that the 2 meals versus just the one big meal wouldn't make that much of a difference. It was just more of a superstition. Like if I didn't do this, then it's bound to go wrong.
I used to want to go to the gym like a little later because again, another thing I had in my head was that if I went too early, I wouldn't be as strong or whatever, be able to work out as hard. So because I'd eat breakfast, I feel like oh, it's been too long for the gym since I had my last meal, so I have to have the second meal to like bridge that gap. It's stupid, even though it's the most stupid thing ever. But just like things like that, yeah, that's what I was in my head about for some reason. And I still enjoy the gym just as much now. I just just eat bigger meals and things like that. Just the stress about stuff was pointless. Like
Maybe
really not gonna matter.
maybe the trip diverted your overthinking about things, because maybe
Probably.
while you were here, you're just training was the only thing. And maybe that's it. I think if you only have one particular thing you're focused on, you're gonna start overthinking every little thing about that thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're busy with other things alongside with this thing, then you won't be so fussed about
Doing it.
I think thinking about it so much.
Yeah, for sure. Like, because I was out there and I wasn't eating as much food and I wasn't taking my vitamins and I felt just the same, if not better. I was like, oh, it's actually like not that important. It doesn't affect me that much. Obviously, I was like constantly in the sun and in the sea and things like that, so I would feel good. But just like energy wise and that, I was like convinced I had to have certain food or like all this stuff. And when I was gone, my body didn't even change like really that much at all in the whole month. It was like I maybe got a little bit leaner. And I trained like 4 times and didn't eat nowhere near as much. And it made me realize that it's really so like insignificant if you just don't have one extra meal and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess that's like what amazing insight I've had from going away from Aussie. I don't have to eat one more meal now.
Was there any sort of uncomfortable culture clashes that you had when you went?
Not really at all.
It was just
they're all really polite and annoying Americans. I mean, any culture clash, I literally.
Would you go and tell me something about an annoying American there? Like,
wow, just talking like 3 times the talking volume. So anywhere you go, we started to notice it. We just noticed a pattern. We'd sit down, we go, oh, American, because you just hear them across the room. Everywhere you go, there's an American that's really loud, really obnoxious, or something like that. Just like if when they talk in a group, they can't talk like we're talking now. They have to be like, so Vansh, I went to Thailand, like basically that, like really loud, like want everyone to know they're there. I mean, that could just be a judgmental. I mean, they're sure they're nice people.
Yeah.
So, but that's the only culture clash, and it wasn't even to do with Thailand. It was just, I didn't even clash. Like, they just found them annoying. And I'm sure it's not all American people, obviously. But everywhere you go in a foreign country, anywhere you go on holiday, you will hear an American a few times. I don't know if you can like relate to that, but you will always hear them everywhere. Even if you go to London, you'll probably hear an American.
Yeah.
They just...
It's just a constant outside voice.
Yeah, it's just really that. Like, I literally call them movie people. They are literally like movie people.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad thing. I have admiration for American people's confidence, and optimism.
Yeah, I get that.
Compared to the UK.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they've definitely got more like encouragement and motivation and like support for each other. But just like I said, just like general courtesy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's really loud. Yeah, if you're out in public and you're talking amongst yourself, you don't want to be overpowered by... It doesn't matter who it's, an American, even you got loud British people, I'm sure. But yeah, I just noticed that. But culture clash of Thailand, not at all. I mean, they're all really welcoming and kind, and I feel like the UK kind of have a culture of being polite as well, so it kind of works out like... So yeah, there wasn't really any clashes, apart from the toilet bum guns. You saw, some toilets don't have toilet roll.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I forgot you got
the bidet thing.
Yeah, the bidet.
There wasn't a bidet. You don't sit in it. It's like on the wall. It's like a hose pipe thing with a trigger. And so when we went on a day trip, we went to one. It was going to see some elephants at like a ethical sanctuary. So one, you can touch the elephants and stuff. Like, you just observe them, and they have like their own set of carers, because obviously a lot of the sanctuaries, well, they're not even sanctuaries because they're like abused elephants. Like, they've got people climbing on them 24/7 all day. They're like forced to do things they don't want. We don't want to do that because it's like, the elephant actually doesn't want to do it. So we went to one of those, but on the way there, we had to stop at like a service place, and I had to go for a 2. And I got in there, and I had brown brown linen trousers, and there was no toilet roll. It was only a gun.
Yeah.
So I was like stuck panicking because I've got this gun. I've got to soak my ass, and then I've got brown trousers that would soak through. That was like my only culture clash, was that I had to take tissues everywhere.
Yeah.
In case there wasn't toilet paper, and I had to soak myself with a gun. So yeah, that was probably the worst culture clash, was lack of toilet roll.
Yeah. I had the same. I had the same thing when I got to India. And then also when I went to Africa again.
Yeah.
But when we went to Africa, they have a weird system with the toilets there. So essentially what they do, because they haven't got a drainage system,
Yeah.
so they dig a hole, maybe 6 feet down, something like that.
Yeah.
And maybe 6 feet across, 6 feet down, and width about 2 feet. They dig a hole that big. And then they build above it a toilet, like made out of like clay or like hardened dirt. And then you just sit on it, you shit, and then it just goes into like a pile of pit of shit and piss at the bottom. But obviously they don't have toilet paper.
Yeah.
They didn't even have anything to clean your ass with. So we had to bring toilet paper everywhere, which is exactly what that reminds me of. And then it also, when we were trekking through along the Nguemsby River, I think that's what it's called, we had to dig a hole to shit in for everyone. So when we set up camp, we had to go up a hill with a pickaxe, dig a hole, and make sure everyone knew where it was. And if you need to go, you just squat down, shit, take a toilet paper with you, clean up, and then go off. And then after you're done,
And there's no like room around you.
no,
Just squat in the middle of the lake.
yeah, just squat in the middle of nowhere. And then once you're done, you take the pile of dirt from the side with a shovel, and then you put the dirt
Or your poo.
and bury your poo.
So was there like wild animals out there as well?
But you see, this is reminding me. I was sitting there once, and I swear to God, I saw eyes. I swear to God, I saw eyes looking at me while I was shitting. It was terrifying. It was dark, and then you could hear like people's chattering across from the other side, our camp and stuff. And then when you're like looking around, you just see eyes and just like chittering of animals and shit. It's like, what the fuck? I might just go
F about a pile of shit. Ready to go out.
Well, they need the toilets where, the ones where you just squat down. Like they aren't.
Oh, yeah,
toilet
like
seats.
on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's the thing that the bum guns, they are more hygienic. That's the thing. You could get much cleaner, but you've just got a soaking wet ass. And I guess the heat dries up quickly, but I'm not trying to walk into 7-Eleven with a massive wet patch on my bum on the truck. So that was like the only problem. But yeah, again, first world problem. No toilet paper.
Yeah, first world problem, man. Is it something that you can't?
Yeah.
That typical Western idea that's purported, especially in this country or maybe American stuff, where that you need traveling to help find yourself.
Yeah.
Do you think?
I didn't really find myself. No,
Yeah.
I just enjoyed my holiday. I found myself was that I liked chilling and relaxing and eating nice food, like as if I didn't know that before. I think the people that find themselves normally to go there for months and they literally live like a local, like they live without all these luxuries, or they go and do loads of like psychedelics. That the gypsies, I think it is. They go and do loads of psychedelics and then they like have some weird awakening. But yeah, I didn't really find myself at all. I just got to do really nice things and appreciated stuff more. I guess that's about it. I didn't find like my future career or like who I am deep down. I literally just went on holiday and just had a really nice time on holiday.
I mean, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how it mostly is most of the time. So yeah. Unless you go there trying to find yourself and you try and like live like a local and stay with families and just live like them and don't go out there like staying like nice hotels and stuff. So yeah, I didn't find myself.
It was mostly just an experience, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had a nice experience and a nice memory and a good time. So
yeah, I guess that's all it's really worth, isn't it?
yeah, I think if you go out there trying to expect or get something out of it, you're just gonna spend the whole time trying to do that as opposed to just enjoying it. So yeah, I didn't count on finding myself. And
it's also, I guess, if you set an expectation for what it's going to be like,
yeah, exactly.
and it might not reach that expectation. Whenever you set an expectation for something, you pose an ideal, you compare yourself to the ideal of the situation or you yourself. You're inevitably going to find yourself lacking to the ideal, which is exactly what you explained about the beach.
Yeah.
You posited an ideal what the best beach could be, because you've been to it.
Yeah.
And now any other beach you go to isn't that ideal. You're gonna always look at what's missing.
It's like average. Like you go to a really fancy one, then you go to a really nice one, and then that nice one is just like Southend. Yes, because you've been to a really nice one, and you're like, oh, comparing it. However, there was one beach that was literally Southend. It was in Krabi. It was called Rayleigh Beach, and we didn't like Krabi at all. It just didn't seem, it was just weird. There was like no Thais, like Thai people. There was no like local Thai stuff at all. And the beach was just like this long sandy strip. It had loads of like ropes and seaweed on it. The water wasn't clear. and it had like, like the big stone walls.
Yes.
It was literally like that. And we was like, oh crap. Again, obviously it wasn't bad. Like, it was a good place. We had a nice hotel there and things like that. But that was like the only one that was like actually like kind of fair enough. But like, it was just weird. Yeah, we didn't expect it, and every video like photo we seen of it, it wasn't. I don't know what happened. I don't know if we went in the completely wrong place, but yeah, it was literally like self-fed.
Yeah,
Or the fact that if you walked further down, you had like massive like cliff things and like jungle and monkeys and that. So it was still good. But yeah, it was just this really weird area. But I don't even know how we got into that.
Yeah, that's quite
I really love that. Yeah.
Do you think people, just in terms of people's usage, maybe of like mobile phones, or how much they were, I guess, living in the moment? It's hard to dictate when you aren't speaking to the person, but how much do you think people were on their phones recording things, taking pictures, and not really in the moment?
Yeah.
Versus,
I think a lot, to be fair. Like, I've never been to like a festival or concert, but whenever I see people's videos of concerts, it's literally just like a sea of phones. Like, everyone's just like that the entire time. I mean, I get that you want to capture the memory, but it just seems like you go to a concert to enjoy the concert, not watch the concert again, if you know what I mean. You can go there to be at the concert, or you could go there to film the concert so that you can watch the concert again. It's just not the same. But I think in things like that, if you see old videos of like people at old concerts, I think everyone's just like dancing and singing, but now it's literally just like that the whole time, like just everywhere. It's just all phones, just filming everything. If people want to film it, like, I don't care. Like, if you want to film it and watch it back, that's fine. But I think, yeah, I'm bad as well. Like, if I'm sitting waiting for something, instead of just sitting and waiting, I'll just go on my phone.
yeah,
Or like, it's really bad as well. Sometimes even know it, you'll like, I don't know, you'll be on Instagram and you'll go scroll and then you'll close it, and then you literally open Instagram again.
yeah,
I'm like, hold on a minute. Like, I'll just get hit. Like, what the hell? I just swiped up to close Instagram and I've just instantly opened up Instagram and gone straight back on it. Like, just like it is an addiction, because I always say all the time, I always stop going on my phone as much, then I just grab my phone anyway.
yeah. I've done this a fair amount of times as well.
Or I've deleted TikTok and then 2 days later it's just miraculous. It's on my phone. You're like, how did that get there? Just go back on it again. But it definitely depends on the circumstance, because yeah, if I'm sitting in my room waiting, I don't know, say I'm waiting for Ruby to get ready for the gym. I mean, how do I live in the moment when I'm just sitting in bedroom, to be fair? Like, I guess I could sit with my thoughts and become wise and stuff, or I could just sit on my phone. So I think it depends on what the situation is. Like, if I was out for dinner, I'm not going to sit on my phone. I'm going to be in the moment of being out for dinner. Whereas if I'm just sitting in my room waiting, then maybe it's pretty valid to just sit on your phone and see what's going on, or just get some entertainment or whatever. And again, like, I think it's just all kind of situational, like living in the moment when it comes to phone. Because if you're just sitting at home all day because you have to for whatever reason, then you might as well do something like that, or do something useful and then go on your phone. What's your view on it?
My view on
People living in the moment with phones.
I guess with festivals and stuff, I think it's more, you should be like, you've paid so much money to be there.
Exactly.
Like, you should just be in the moment and enjoy it.
And people say, but I want to be able to watch it again. Just go on YouTube. You can get a video of the concert after. Like,
Better than you can record it.
You could just say you've been there. Like, yeah. As opposed to just having to worry about getting the video the whole time. Like I said, I haven't been, but when I do go to most places, I don't take photos. Like, if I go on holiday, like, I'll take photos if I think something looks nice. Like, if I'm sitting and the view is nice, I'll take a photo of the view and things like that.
The only photo I saw you take in Thailand was just off the toilet, and the view was in the toilet. Literally, that's what I was saying.
I have like a photo camera on my head, so I just don't often go on it much, or I don't want to have to, like, say you go for like a nice hike, I don't want to have my phone in my pocket the whole time, or I'm just going to fall out, or just keep it in my bag and just not think about it. Like, I'll go on holiday and I must have taken like barely any photos the whole time I was away. Normally I'll get Ruby to send me photos that she's taken, and we'll just give each other our photos that we had taken. But But yeah, and like long periods of time, like filming things for ages, I don't really do. Not much of like a photo taker. So
Yeah, with that Instagram thing, which you were saying about how you close the app, go on the app, he needs something to do. I told you about this. There was the shock button experiment where they put men and women in a room, and in front of them they had a red button, and they knew that if they pressed the button, it would shock them. They were told to sit in the room, I think it was for 90 minutes, without doing anything other than sitting with their thoughts. And by the end of the experiment, what they found was 67% of men pressed that button and 25% of women pressed that button because they were so they found it so disturbing to be able to sit with their own thoughts that they had to do something. And in that case, pressing a button that would literally shock them.
Were they pressing it multiple times or just once?
Multiple times.
But they're just sitting zip, yeah, zip. That's quite funny. Yeah, it's pretty bad as well. But I mean, sitting on the chair for an hour and a half in a room is probably quite
I guess
quite boring.
Yeah, that's the entire point of the experiment. It's like, rather than sitting with your own thoughts and being bored, they'd rather shock yourself.
Like people would say, oh, before we had phones, you had to do that, but no one would just sit for an hour and a half straight. I think they would either go outside and they'd read a book, do an activity or whatever was like relevant at that time. So I don't think it's like bad necessarily that humans will need something to do, because naturally I just don't think you'd sit for an hour and a half anyway, unless you're sitting somewhere like really nice. Like you sit on the beach for an hour and a half because you're literally like chilling on the beach and you got the sound of the sea and you've got the sun and all that kind of thing. But I think obviously phones are really bad because you can have access to everything like pretty much all the time. But I don't think it's normal for humans to just sit in a room and stare for an hour and a half anyway. So I think it's just kind of natural for us to do something. I think 100 years ago, 200 years ago, you probably go frolic in a field or like, I don't know, read a book or like play like some sort of like game with like toys or just talk to someone. I don't think you would just sit there and go for an hour and a half. So I'm sure it's relevant study, but obviously it is relevant. It shows that humans can't do nothing for a long time. But yeah, I think obviously phones can be to blame for like attention span. Like I probably have a not as good attention span now because of it. Like I can't sit. It's even the worst one that I'll admit to. I hate to admit to it, but I'll get out of the shower and I'll wrap my towel around me to get dry. Instead of drying myself, I'll sit on the edge of the bath to dry while I'm on my phone sometimes. Like, it's that bad. Okay. I'll literally go like that and I'll just sit there on the edge of the thing and I'll be like, I'll just go on my phone like, and I'm like, oh man, that is so bad. Like you literally got out the shower and you've gone on your phone. And the thing is, I haven't even got a bad screen time because I don't go on it for long periods of time. It's more like little bursts to like fill gaps that I do it for. Like it's not like I have an 8-hour screen time. I'm like, not that bad. It's just like filling little gaps where I'm not doing anything that I just can be bad for it. Like I would just get out of the shower with wrap towel and sit on my phone. Like that, it's just so unnecessary. Just get dry. Get out of the shower.
I wonder why it's so hard. It's like it's like drying yourself isn't exactly such a boring activity.
I know. I don't. That's the thing. I don't even know what it is. It's not even like I want to go on my phone. It's more like it's just like a natural like reflex now. It's like, yeah. And I might even watch like 2 videos and then get off of it. But it's just like doing 2 scrolls is like enough for my pea brain to like act. Yeah, time to get up now. It's just weird. Yeah. But I don't know, I feel like it can be used as like a stimulant for like short. That's how I use it, and it's not a good way to use it. I mean, the phone should just be used for calling, technically, that's what they were for. But I'm quite bad with that. I'll just, short periods of time, I just will have to go on it or something. I don't have to, I just choose to and want to. So yeah, I think they're pretty bad for that. Like when I could just go and, I mean, I don't really know what else I could do in that time. Let's say I could go and clean something, but then why? Just get dry.
Yeah.
And do whatever it is you're going to do. So yeah, I don't know. I think they're just pretty good at like literally sinking time into nothing.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess the main thing that I can take away from trying to get away from your phone is creating distance. I think that's one of the main things I've seen. If you want to,
if it's not in the room, you can go on it.
If it's not in the room, you can't go on it. If it's powered off, you can't go on it.
Yeah.
So it's like if you like, it's ironic because I have my phone right next to me, but it's like things like if you power off your phone and put it in the bottom of the drawer.
Yeah.
It's like what are the chances you're actually going to grab it
when you're rolling it? Yeah.
when you're not doing something? Yeah, creating distance, I think, is the biggest thing. But then it's also like the first few days that you do create distance are like the hardest.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I do in the middle of my set if I'm just like, if I haven't got my phone?
To be fair, I don't actually go on it much to gym. I mean, we're all like serial yappers now, so
Yeah.
don't anyway. But yeah, I've never really been much of a gym scroller. So that's good, I guess. But yeah, like the distance with it, like it sounds weird, but I'd rather have no Wi-Fi than bad signal.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Strange.
Like when you've got no Wi-Fi, you accept that you can't go on it. But when you've got bad signal, you're like, you're getting mad. You're like, load so I can see this video, or like things like that. When you have to wait, it's almost like, because you're so used to everything being so quick, when you have to wait 10 seconds for video to load, it's like the longest thing ever, and it just makes you mad.
I mean, with that, I think it's more uncertainty. So humans absolutely hate uncertainty.
Yeah.
So when you don't know something's coming, it just sucks.
So it's like, I don't know when the video's going to play.
Yeah.
How long do I sit here?
Exactly.
Or do I just get off my phone?
It's like, there's plenty of examples. Like if you even take like cable companies, you know, where I'll come between 4 and 8 p.m. It's like 4 and 8 p.m. It's such a vague gap that I can't do anything from 4 to... So if I decide to do something at 4, you might come at 4 or 5, but you also might come at 7:30.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure when it comes...
like parcels as well, isn't it? When they say, we need someone to sign for parcel will be delivered between 9:30 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. It's like, what want me to do? I can't be there. Message me when you're like an hour away. Like,
literally, I think that's the biggest solution to those kind of things. I mean, there's what do you call it? The buttons that you press when you're walking across the street. You know, the boxes so you have the red or green line up. Yeah. Those in the UK give you a level of uncertainty. As much as it's like it's a proxy to let you know that you pressed it, so you have some control over it, whether it turns red or green. So if you pressed it, it's going to turn green at some point.
Yeah.
I think they found, I can't remember what the study was, but they found less people jaywalked, less people didn't cross on a red man. Yeah. Less people crossed on a red man when they had a number displayed of how many seconds was left before it turned green.
Yeah, I noticed that when I went to, I think in Milan, they had like a countdown for the things as well. I don't know why we don't have it here. I guess you just wait for it to go green. And obviously here, there's no jaywalking, is there? You can just cross the road here. So, yeah, I guess if you got like a country like America where it's illegal to cross the road, if it's not on the crossing, then I guess it's like, makes sense. But here, I've never noticed myself getting that frustrated at crossing. So yeah.
I mean, it's impatience, and also that even that signal box being there gives you a sense of control, because it's like I pressed it, so it's going to turn green. But there's some that just turn green or red, just because that's how they're programmed. Yeah. But you pressing it lets you know, like, oh, I pressed it, therefore it's going to turn green. If that wasn't there, and then it automatically turned red or green depending on when the car stopped and when there were lights and this happened, then you were less likely to stop there because you didn't have a sense of control. It's like,
I'll wait. So, there's no cars coming, I might as well just quickly cross them. Yeah. So, yeah, I see you about uncertainty. Like if I don't, like say about them, no Wi-Fi is better than poor Wi-Fi, because you have to you wait, or you don't know when it's going to load and that. But if you just know you've got no Wi-Fi, you're not going to go on your phone, because you know you can't do anything on your phone anyway. So you will lose something else. But yeah, no, I'm not like I'm making it sound like I'm some proper like fucking, like I'm literally not that bad. Like I do a lot of like cleaning and tidying at home and like stuff like that. I'm not like some actual like brain goon that just literally sits there on his phone all the time. It's just I find myself going on it just to fill small gaps of time when I'm not doing anything, and also like I say, going to get off my phone and then going back on it instantly, just stuff like that I think is bad, because it's not doing anything good for me. I might as well just go about my day instead of wasting time just looking at useless stuff for a few minutes at a time. Yeah. But yeah, if I sit on it for ages, I do literally feel like crap, so I don't do it anyway, because I know that if I sit on my phone for like an hour, I will get up and just feel like a slob. So yeah, I don't really do that because I'm aware of how it makes you feel, how it makes me feel. But if I do it in short bursts, it's kind of like I justify it to myself. So yeah.
I guess it also not only I don't think the actual the extreme levels of scrolling is a problem, but in terms of scrolling on apps on occasion, I don't know how much of a problem it actually is, mostly because it's dependent on what you actually watch.
Yeah, if you have the right content as well, like, I know, for example, if it's your videos, it's like something insightful. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I'm going to go away from that and be like brain dead.
Yeah.
I've had to like think. But if it's like, I can't even think of something, I don't know, some like skibbity brain rot video that's like, then obviously it's like, is this really worth your time? So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess with the sort of content you're watching, one of the main things it reminds me of, it's kind of related, but it's the sort of same theory. When I had Adrian Carter on the show, who was that's body language, Lisa Artist. When I had Lisa Artist on the show, she was a sleep expert, and one thing that I asked her, was it the blue light on the phone that was affecting people's sleep? How bad was it? And she was like,
yeah, I have night mode on my phone 24/7.
Yeah,
because of that.
But she said it wasn't the blue light that was having the most effects. It was actually what people were doing on their phones before bed. So yeah, if it was a highly stimulating piece of content, then they were less likely to be able to sleep because it rises stress levels.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with the kind of content you're watching. Are you watching really stimulating content, or are you watching something that's making you think?
Yeah.
And then after each piece of content that you watch, you should probably ask yourself, how did this make me feel?
Yeah.
Instead of just scrolling past and forgetting about it instantly.
Yeah.
It's important to watch the right piece of content, but I guess social media is going down a weird route, because it's like you can get purported pieces of content to make you think a particular way, which then leads back to that UK Safety Act thing that we were talking about in terms of censorship. It's like I have to give my ID and my information in order to watch the particular content. It's like, where does it go from here in terms of what I can believe and what I can't?
Exactly. Yeah. We don't know the algorithms are like really smart, and they're literally designed to make you addicted, because that's how they operate. That's the whole point of the company. The whole point of social media is to keep you constantly addicted and on it. So you probably say you see more ads and things like that makes them more money. And like you said with the content, like if you forget about it, it's so bad, because everyone will spend hours on their phone. I don't know, you might spend a couple hours in a day, or you might spend like tens of hours over the month. How many actual videos like have you watched on Instagram that you actually remember? Like nothing pops in my head right now. But if I was to spend 20 hours watching hour videos on YouTube, I probably remember every single one of them, because you've had to think about it and be engaged in it. So it's like you are literally wasting hours of your life when you are scrolling on Instagram, I think, because I haven't gained anything from it. I don't remember any videos that I've watched. I don't think I've learned anything important from any videos I've watched scrolling, unless I've used it for a certain reason. Like in that moment, I've searched for something particular. I don't know, when I was learning to drive, I searched for theory questions, and I watched it on TikTok because you can get lots of information at once. But if you're just literally scrolling, I think it's like just such a time waste, like big time. I would rather spend 10 hours, even though I'd rather spend 10 hours on YouTube watching some more interesting videos that I remember than 10 hours just scrolling. It takes more focus anyway as well to watch a YouTube video than it does to just doom scroll.
Yeah, I guess it's difficult though as well. It's like if you've adapted the sort of attention span of someone who is a scroller, when you want to go watch a YouTube video or you want to read a book, it becomes difficult to even remember the stuff that you're reading or watching. It's like when you read a book, you read a page, you go on to the next page, and you're like, what did I read on that last page? And then you go back to the page, you're like, and start carefully reading it. It's like, it's hard to build up that sort of attention span again, at least after that.
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger, I used to read all the time. And when I first moved into where I live now, for a long time, we didn't have Wi-Fi or like a TV. So I literally just read like loads of Percy Jackson books, and I'd get them from school, and I'd literally read for like 4 hours straight. Like I'd just have like cup of tea after cup of tea. I literally read for like 4 or 5 hours straight, because it was like the only stimulant thing that I had, but I really enjoyed it and I loved it, and I could read for hours on end because I did it all the time. But now I'd probably struggle to read a book for like a few hours for sure, because I'm so much used to doing something that's much more like just stimulating. But yeah, I think it's like, say, if you don't have something, you find something else to fill that gap.
Yeah.
Like if you've got nothing to do, if you've got no Wi-Fi, you probably will read a book or I don't know, do drawing or anything like that. That's a bit more creative or makes you think a little bit more. But if you've got like an easy way out, like a phone, you just like know that, oh, this 10 minutes will go by really quick because I can just watch entertaining videos for 10 minutes straight. It's pretty easy to just do that than it is do something else.
Bro's gonna have a whole therapy on how to not go on his phone. This is what this episode was. This psyop for you to just lower your screen.
I think my screen time's not even that bad. Let me have a look actually. I'm telling myself it's not that bad. Because I don't actually go on my phone that much. This is the thing. It just feels like I do because I do it in little bursts so often, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If I did 1 hour straight for a day, but if I do 1 hour split between 6-10 minute sessions, it seems like a lot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like if you have to go to work 6 times a day for 10 minutes, it seems like you're working all the time. If you just did it for an hour, it's nothing.
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah.
Where is screen time? Here it is. It's going to be bad, I think.
I mean, well, today isn't going to...
Oh, daily average. Yeah, today 1 hour.
To 1 hour today?
Daily average, including yesterday. So yesterday, but if I can just look. Hold on, sorry. Yesterday I spent an hour and a half.
Okay.
What did I spend the most time? Okay, so I don't really know how it's added up to that. 31 minutes on Instagram.
That's really not that bad.
Yeah, that's not that bad, to be fair. And considering as well, the maths doesn't add up there. I'm sorry, that doesn't add up, does it? 1 hour, 35 minutes.
1 hour, 30. I mean, it depends. All these...
They're all a minute.
No, this show more as well. Oh, wait, what? Oh.
What's going on? Maybe that's just not being on the app. Maybe I should have my phone on.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so it doesn't that bad. Can I see the week before? So this is... why is it only a week, you think? It's down 72% from last week, so if we do the...
Oh, so you locked in. You locked in this week.
It's been 1 day. If it's down 72% from last week, and if you do the math, 72%, the daily average is 1 hour, and that's 72% drop.
A 72% drop from... What would... So
you have to do a reverse percent.
Yeah, you're gonna have to...
I haven't done this since school.
Jesus Christ, man. If it's a 70% drop, and I'm guessing 100% is the other one, so this is 30%. So if we're assuming 30% is 90 minutes, so that's a third is 90 minutes, which is 30 minutes times by... Fuck. I'm terrible at maths right now.
And last week it would have been higher because I babysat for like 4 times. I babysat like 3 times last week, so I was at home for a lot of the time with my brother. So last week's wouldn't be like crazy because I'm at home the whole day looking after them. So I'm pretty sure I watched like 5 hours of Prison Break on my phone at one point. So it's going to be pretty
fair. Yeah.
But pickups, this is the bad one. Okay, daily pickups.
When you open your phone.
Yeah, 116 pickups yesterday. So I picked up my phone 116 times. And the first used after pickup was Instagram, 32 times.
And that does open.
And I don't even remember going on Instagram 32 times. It's like, it's just so subconscious. It's just like, pick up phone, go on Instagram, turn it off. And it wasn't, like I say, it was only for like, it wasn't even that long. It was like half an hour. But I picked it up like 30 something times. So I was on it for like a minute at a time. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
When I say that if you do it multiple times for a short amount of times, it seems like so much more than if you just get it in one go. So yeah, it's pretty bad.
You know, after your trip, I wonder if you've changed your opinion where you want to settle down when you do get older. Would you want to stay in the UK? Or is
this thing, I'm really close to my family, so I wouldn't want to go far away. Like I say, I'm really close to my young brothers, and they rely on me quite a lot in different ways, and I'm really close to them. So I wouldn't go far away because I feel like I have a responsibility for my family as well to be like around. Like if something happens or you need, like someone needs help, I feel like I'd rather be nearby than to be off on a different country, just like in luxury. I feel like some sort of responsibility,
right,
towards my family, if you know what I mean, than to just go off and do whatever I feel like I want to do. Like I feel like, I feel like kind of responsible in a way for help my family in a certain way. So I wouldn't want to move away for really far away unless I was like, maybe if I was like really old. Sure, I mean, but as of now, and still like into my 30s, and I wouldn't want to go far away.
Yeah.
Because I say I got a good relationship with my family and stuff. So yeah, that's where I stand on that.
Okay, so you wouldn't want to leave the country at all. You just want to.
Probably not. No. I'd leave the country for holidays and stuff, but I wouldn't live somewhere else as of right now. But like I say, when people say, obviously people say that it's like a study that UK is the most miserable country.
Yeah.
But also, maybe we are miserable, but maybe if you lived in a slum, you'd be even more miserable. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, people are miserable because obviously the country's a bit of a sham anyway. But we're still super, super, super lucky and super privileged compared to pretty much everyone else anyway. Despite this, like we say, oh, see, you can't afford to buy a house or that, but you can still live in a house.
Yeah, I guess
you might not own it,
perspective, you know.
but you can still live in a house. You can still go to work, and you can still have a weekend. You can still have 5 hours after work if you do 9 to 5, and 2 days off at the weekend, and still be able to go to shops and buy food and go to bed and sleep in your bed. But the fact that it's the most miserable country, it is if you choose to be miserable. Like, I get that the weather can be not amazing, but if you're going to let the weather justify your entire view on life, then maybe you got something else you need to like focus on. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think the UK is actually that terrible to actually live in. Obviously, it will be hard for us at our age when we get older, trying to live the way we live off of what we earn, obviously, because obviously our living standard is higher anyway, so we only got by. We just have more expenses because we have more things, so even though we earn a lot more money than other countries in certain ways. Okay, that's not the first problem, isn't it? But yeah, I don't think it's that bad in the UK. It was like you need to get out of the UK, and I get that. Yeah, the country is going a bit all over the place, and it's just run a bit crap. But I don't think it's that bad. I'm pretty happy here, to be fair. Obviously, like getting a career and stuff is going to be difficult, but most of life is going to be difficult. I don't expect it to be like super easy peasy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think moving country would necessarily change that.
Yeah, that's a new perspective to me, at least, because I guess everyone I've spoken to about this sort of topic, no one actually wants to stay in the UK.
Yeah.
And I mean, at least my take is the same with that. I wouldn't want to stay in the UK. And I'm not exactly too sure why that is.
Yeah.
Maybe because there's novelty involved with living somewhere in a different country with no people.
This way you get a lot of people that have a lot of money anyway, and they'll say, like, I want to move to, like, I don't know, going to go pretty generic here, like generic TikTok, I'm going to move to Bali or something like that, and live off of their extremely cheap prices, where these people are earning literally nothing anywhere, and you're taking advantage of that because the UK is so terrible that you have to go somewhere and spend no money because the people that earn no money. It's like, God, where are you? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the UK is so bad, like everything's so expensive. So I'm going to go to somewhere that's really poor and live off of all my money. Do you know what I mean?
I hear it. Okay.
So I think it's just one of those things where it's like, I just try and be a little more like appreciative. Again, they say the UK is very bad in very many ways, and like weather's not amazing and things like that. But actually, like in terms of what you can do and what opportunity you have, I think it's pretty good. I'll be real.
Yeah, I think there's good opportunity in the UK, at least when you're comparing it to other third world countries. Yeah. I mean, it depends when you're comparing it to other Western countries. Yeah, to see what the differences are.
Yeah, if you're moving to another Western country, fair enough. But if you're just moving somewhere because everything's really cheap, because the people there literally earn like 1 pence an hour, then it's like, how good are you actually that you want to get out of this terrible country so that you can go and live luxury because you don't have to, because everyone there is so exploited. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's this level of hustle mentality.
It's like businesses when they like outsource. They pay foreign workers like no money because it makes them more money. It's that kind of thing. I don't get, my money's not as valuable to me in the UK, so I'll go somewhere where nothing costs a cent to me. Do you know what I mean? I noticed that when I was in Thailand, everything seems so cheap. Like, it literally is like you just spend the money like it's nothing, because you know as well, like, obviously, like even when you go to like a clothes shop, I avoided bartering as much as I could. Like if I saw a piece of clothing and I liked it, and they said it's a certain amount of money, which seems expensive in Thailand, being around you again, obviously it's fake, like a Nike t-shirt, exact same quality. There's 50 quid in the UK. Why would I barter over £10 for a t-shirt in Thailand when that guy is working all day to get a tiny bit of money, and I'm going to sit here with all my money that I have in the UK, which is literally like tons to them, and be like, actually, can you make it like £2 cheaper? It's like, really? Like, it's that person's livelihood. Stuff like that. I think like it's easy to go to somewhere else where everything's cheap, and then you become accustomed to it being cheap, that you then become like, I don't explain it, like petty with like, you'll hear people, they will literally argue with them to make something cheaper, and it's like, it's so cheap anyway. Like you convert it, it's like £5 for a really good t-shirt, and you're going to literally argue with this person that has no money. It's just because it should be cheaper over there. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it depends though. Sometimes these stores and these people in these sort of countries they're upcharging you.
Yeah, I get that, but to us it is still nothing. They might charge you like £2 extra for them, which is like, probably to them it's like £10. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, if it helps them out a little bit, I'll pay an extra £2. I want the t-shirt anyway. If I got the same one in the UK, it's going to be 10 times more expensive. So
yeah, I see.
What's the problem? Do you know what I mean?
Well, you might as well pay their prices because
they need it. They need it way more than you. Like, yeah, it's fair enough. If they charge locals less money, I think that's fair enough. They're their friends, they're locals. They know that they haven't got as much money as us anyway. So if they want to give their friends something for less money, I think that's completely fair enough. Like, I know, say you had a clothing brand, you'd probably give your friends and family clothes for cheaper, but you charge someone else full price because you don't know them.
Yeah.
I think it's fair enough. I don't think it matters if they upcharge you a little bit. Like, they've got no money. Just pay that extra bit of money. So, like, we can always tip people and stuff like that. I just think, I don't know where I was going with this, but it was related to like people moving to cheaper countries because obviously it's so much better than here. And I'm sure obviously the environment and like the weather and stuff is better in these countries. But also living standards aren't. That's, I think we have this idea that we have really good living standards here, but because the weather's not good, some of the country's so terrible. I must go somewhere else. And it's fair enough, people move to another country. Like, I literally don't care. I can understand it. And maybe if I didn't have any other like responsibilities, I would. But I guess it depends on what you are as a person. So I can't really say, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm curious. So this is really off topic, but I was curious about what was the airport process like? Was it getting into Thailand? Was it any different to going to any other country, or was it just?
It was fine. We had a stop over in Dubai. We just flew, stopped over at Dubai, and then we flew to Emirates, and then from Dubai went to Thailand, landed in Bangkok. Just same as any other airport, literally the whole same security kind of thing. It's all pretty much the same. There's nothing different. And then internal flights, obviously the same, it's a bit quicker. It's not as thorough, but yeah, it was all pretty smooth and easy. It wasn't difficult at all. A lot of boats as well. Boats were fine. Yeah, no, it's easy. There's nothing different with their airports. It was smooth.
Oh, I'm going to ask you about your opinion on whether, I mean, this is more like conspiracy theory, I guess. But where do you think borders are going to end up being a bigger deal in the future in terms of like?
What do you say, borders?
Yeah, borders. Like, passing airport control and stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah. Do you think they're going to be a bigger deal in the future? I mean, in terms of like
bigger deal as in more difficult or
more difficult and more secure in terms of like,
I reckon
who they let out into the countries, because like I saw something which has already been getting out of hand. Honda made a new car.
Yeah.
Where they charge you a subscription in order to get to the upper echelons of the speedometer. So in order to go faster, essentially, you need to pay a subscription.
It's funny, there's a Black Mirror episode. I don't know, I probably watched it ages ago. It was actually like so sad. It was this woman was like, she was like dying of something. She was about to die, and then they used her for like this experiment, and they put this chip in her. She was like brain dead, and they put this chip thing in her brain where it makes her brain work. But you basically have to pay. It's like connected. Your brain is connected to like cell phone towers, so you have like a radius of where it works. So if you walk outside of it, you start to have like a seizure and you go brain dead, and you basically pay a subscription monthly to like for your brain to work. and they up the price more and more and more, and they have like premium editions where like you can go further, or you can turn up like how happy you are and things like that. And eventually it just got to the point where it was so expensive. Like the guy was doing like terrible things to make money, and then she died, and then he killed himself.
Wow.
But it was like, yeah, they used this brain chip to keep her alive, but it almost became like a blackmailing thing. So they just charged more so you could be alive, so his wife could live. And she also had downtime. It was like she'd have to, like, on the cheap subscriptions where they started to pay ads, she would say advertisements out loud.
Wow.
So it would be like, she'd be in a conversation, say the conversation was related to food, and then she'd be like, oh, try this new seasoning, like without even realizing. And also like she'd be more tired because she'd have to sleep for longer to like recharge your brain, or you could pay to have more. Like, I can't remember what the episode's called, but it was really good. It was really sad though. But it's that kind of thing, like where you have to like pay for a subscription for something to be. A subscription can be like pretty cheeky.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, in relation to borders, I think it will be more skillful, because I reckon eventually they'll somehow get digital ID in space, which I don't think they should. But
why do you say that?
Huh?
Why do you say that they shouldn't get digital ID?
Too much control, like if everything's digital online, then someone always has access to it. Like someone can always control it. And I think if you give the government digital ID, then like that's kind of done. Like they've got all the control they need. They've got everything about you online. They can control everything. They could shut off your passport if they wanted to. Like it can be used in like the wrong ways. Like say with the Censorship Act thing, they portrayed it as one thing, like, oh, children protection, they can't watch porn, you have to have ID to watch porn. That was how it was advertised. But now if you need ID to watch videos of people protesting about the government, do you see what I mean? It's like it goes too far. Once you get digital ID, it's like, oh, it's really good, because, and I have this, I might be wrong, but obviously you've got like all the stuff about like border crossings and things like that, and then the government, I saw they're trying to argue that, well, if we have digital ID, these people won't get into the country. And it's almost like everything's kind of like a setup to get what they want. It's like, oh, and then because of that, people be like, yeah, that's a good idea. I think that's a really good idea, because the border's out of control. I think 100% we need digital ID. And then once the people agree with it, and then it's kind of done. Like you said, you can have it, so then you get it, and everything's digital, everything's online. You can't have like a paper passport. It becomes kind of like you're trapped in a way. It's like same with like loans and things like that. It's that kind of thing. Like you're tied to it, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Moving on to something that you're pretty close to, which is the gym.
Yeah.
Well, how have you found the discipline that you've gotten from the gym, from training hard and going every day? How's that translated into your daily life?
I feel like because I enjoy the gym, I don't see it as much of a discipline. It's actually kind of like fun. Like I get to go to the gym. It's like my fun activity. Like I see my mates talk at the gym. So I don't really see it as discipline, if you know what I mean. Maybe at the start it was, because I trained in lockdown at home, and I'd have to like move the whole lounge and set up all my gym stuff and train every night in the lounge and things like that. But I think it's just more like gives you like, helps you with patience, know that like something that's good will take a lot of time. Because obviously it does take a lot of time to build a certain physique you want and things like that. So it definitely helped with like patience and like trusting in the process and stuff like that. But in terms of like actual like genuine discipline, I don't really find it as much of a discipline for me anymore. I'm sure you're the same. Like you enjoy going to the gym. It's fun. It's nice. So it's not like, oh, I've got to go to the gym. It's
just like a thing that I do.
Yeah, literally. And at that point, it becomes like that. At the start, it is hard. Like when I first started lifting, the weights seem like so painful. Like your muscles like burn like with genuine like pain. And so then it's really hard, especially when you're like smaller or like bigger or smaller, wherever it is you're at, it's harder because you don't like the way you look at that point. But I think after a while, when you get to a point you like and it becomes fun, it kind of becomes easy. So a day-to-day life, yeah, I think being patient and understanding that stuff takes a lot of time, and just maybe more healthy as well, more conscious of like what I do with my body and what I eat and things like that.
Yeah, I guess the gyms, I've said this a few times, but the gym is one of those places where, well, once you've done a workout, you get the positive reinforcement of what you will get in a few months.
Yeah, exactly.
If you keep working at it, which is your pump.
Yeah.
But then I wonder,
Yeah,
it makes it so much more difficult for people who are just starting to get that positive reinforcement. Because like imagine you have
it's just painful, isn't it? Like,
I mean, I'm talking more like that as well. Imagine you get a kid who's trying to lose some weight, a chubby kid, and he goes into the gym, he lifts weight, he does his exercise. His pump won't be visible.
You might feel it though.
He might feel it, but it won't be visible. So when he looks at himself in the mirror, he'll be like, oh, I kind of look the same.
But you have like the good mental effects, like the hormones and
Yeah.
releases that make you feel good after working out. So I think the feel good feeling after is a positive reinforcement as well, because you know that you don't. No, I don't think no one goes to the gym unless you injured yourself. No one goes to the gym or does a workout and thinks, oh, I wish I didn't do that. So I think the positive reinforcement for most people probably comes from how you feel after it. Like if I miss the gym for a couple of days, I feel a bit like lazy and a bit like, ugh. So I think it can be more, especially if you're at the start, you don't like the way you look anyway. So having a pump isn't going to make you pretty feel better. I think it's just like, the hormone release and like feeling good and feeling like proud and happy is probably what is positive reinforcement for people at the beginning. And then after a while, you don't really, we'll say you really get like a really good feel good feeling unless you have like a really good workout, which I think it becomes harder to have a good workout when you've been training for longer.
Yeah, it does. Because you struggle to get a good pump unless
it's just like rare to go, oh, that was like such a good workout. Yeah. But at the start, every pump is painful. Like everything's a good workout because you're at, and you get the newbie gains as well.
Yeah.
Like amazing, just progressing like all the time. So I think actually, it's weird because you say you need more discipline at the start, but in a way, because there's so much more results and so much more positive feelings, it's almost like you don't need as much because it feels better at the start. But obviously where we're at now, progress is so much slower, but we enjoy it. So it's like, you don't really care that it takes long because you enjoy it anyway. Yeah. Like if you have a job that earns you livable money, but you really enjoy it, you're not going to be looking at the money. But if you've got a job that pays you really well, but you hate the job, you're probably going to be looking at money like, oh, is it worth it? Or should I get more? I don't know if that works, that comparison works, but you know what I mean? Like, if you really enjoy something, it doesn't take as much discipline.
It's like, it's strange because it's at the start where you need the most discipline and you work the hardest. And then as time goes by, the thing gets harder.
Yeah.
But, you become more equipped to deal with it.
Yeah.
So as in like, instead of discipline now, it's more like this is an enjoyment factor. So I enjoy what I'm doing. I may not be getting the same result that I was getting when I was earlier, but I enjoy it now. So I don't have to be as disciplined as I want.
I think it's quite fun because when you get to the point where it's harder, it makes you kind of dig into more like, what am I doing wrong? What can I change? Or let me try this. You kind of experiment with things more, which makes it a bit more fun because you become like your own like test dummy for like what workouts are good and things like that. But it's just one of those things. It's like if something's enjoyable, you don't need discipline. Like I wouldn't need discipline, or someone would need discipline to go sit on their Xbox and play Fortnite. But you might need discipline to go sit on your laptop and do maths homework. Do you know what I mean? You're still sitting on like a computer and a screen, but one thing's enjoyable, so it's not disciplined. One thing's not enjoyable.
Yeah, so it's not just it's discipline when it's not enjoyable.
The gym, it seems like, because it's like hard. To people that don't do it, it seems like, oh, you must have so much discipline. So actually, when people say, how do you go every day? It's like, I just do it because it's fun. But I think people, if you don't enjoy it, then it seems weird. So, yeah.
I mean, I had a weird take up. So, there's the entire science-based movement. I had a weird take about this, where it was about, the entire point of it was like, it's supposed to reduce friction in what you're supposed to do to get the most efficient exercise whatever. But frankly, I thought to decrease friction in another area for the more advanced lifters, it increased friction in the other area for the newer lifters. So before, when people were getting to the gym, there wasn't that much complication around it. It's like go in, lift some weights, go out. It was less friction other than the fact like you had to walk into the gym and do some training.
Yeah.
Whereas when they're starting now, they're looking at all this science-based stuff. It's like, I have to do all this. And if I'm not doing the trebuchet fucking bilateral tricep pin push down, it's like, that's it, it's over. I'm not going to make any gains.
Things that your progress, like I sometimes find it now, like I get quite caught up in how I structure my workout, like what order I should do exercises in, what things I should do first, as opposed to just doing what's more enjoyable. Like if I'm trying to do something that's really like sciencey, but I don't enjoy it and it's long set up and it's boring, I'm just not going to want to do it. But if I get to do like something that's fun and it's going to make me actually go hard when I'm doing it, not what it's so fun. It's going to make me go hard when I'm doing it. Like I think you just get more progress if you're consistently able to do it and you enjoy it than doing loads of science stuff. If you enjoy the science stuff, then yeah, you're going to get like triple gains, aren't you? Because it's science based, it's accurate,
Yeah.
and you enjoy it. So I think mostly training is literally just down to enjoyment. I think if you miss the enjoyment, then you're going to lose loads because you're going to be bored about doing your workout. You're not going to want to push it, and you don't want to do it because you hate the workout you're doing. But if you've got unsciencey stuff that you really enjoy and you are going to train really hard on, then I think do that instead, and it's going to be consistent as well. So
Yeah, I guess my take on that as well. I was talking to Harley about this, and it was just like science-based movement is cool and all, and yeah, it's efficient, but it depends, right? You may be thinking that you're doing the right thing because on a objective basis, everyone is saying it's the right thing.
the study can change. No.
But yeah, so the study can change, but also if you only think of logical solutions, you render yourself impossible to think of illogical ones.
I've said about this.
Yeah. And it's just if you only ever think about this is the science, this is the studies, this is what's going to work. It's like the average person, by the way, it's like this is what would work for the average person. The average person is such a specific and particular type of individual. It's like the average person isn't really average. They're like a one in a million.
Yeah.
It's like the average person has to have this and have this, but humans are such varying creatures. It's like
No one is normal. Like, there's no normal person.
Yeah.
There's no like average or normal person. Like, how do you determine that? Is it based off of, I think, who's normal in your family or like what's normal in your family? Like some people have family norms that other people think is weird. So to you, well, that family's weird, but to them, your family's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about who you're around and what's normal. There's no like weird or normal person. I just don't think. I mean, I'm sure when you're on your own or when you're with certain people, you're probably really weird. Like when you're with other certain people, you're more normal. Like I think it depends on who you're with. Like I don't know. There's one thing they say that you've got like your public personality, you've got your family personality, your friend personality, your like relationship personality, then you've got like your secret personality. So I don't think there's no like average or normal person. I don't know how this was gone from a science-based study, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That no one's normal, no one's got an average. There's just no normal person, I don't think.
Yeah, I think normal is determined by what I think most people determine as normal, but then in the end,
mix boring and normal in the same thing. Someone's boring, they just go, "I'm just a normal person." I think that's kind of what people view it as. If someone's just boring and don't do anything, they say, "Oh, it's just a normal person." I think that's kind of where people.
But it's like normal is so
broad.
It's like no, normal's put on such a pedestal.
Yeah.
It's like if you're normal, then good.
Yeah.
That's what you should be.
Yeah.
But then when you actually think about it in detail, do you really admire the people who are normal in your life?
What, again, like I say, what is a normal person? In your idea, what is your view?
My view as a normal person, well,
someone that just comes to.
It's like what society determines as normal, and what society determines as normal would be. If I were to describe it from a first-person perspective, it'd be I go to school.
Every single young person.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, let me finish it off. Okay, let me land. I go to school. I decide I'm going to go to uni, but before I go to uni, I need to find myself. So I'm going to take a year, 2 years
in Thailand.
In Bali, and then after that, I'm going to go to uni, go and do a course that my parents wanted me to do, and then I go do that course spent 3-4 years. I've now left uni at like 23, 24, something like that. And now with that degree that I found, I'm going to go find a job, and then I'm going to work up my way in that job for the rest of my life. And then I'm going to find a girl, marry her, have kids. Yeah. And that's the way that I'm going to live my life.
So this is where I think that's where the problem is. When you say that's normal, is the process normal? What you see is normal, not the person. You're looking at the process as the normal thing, not the individual.
But the process makes the individual. That's the thing.
But the process isn't their personality, isn't what they do, isn't what they like. Do you know what I mean? That's just the process they're following. Like in some families, they might leave school at 16 and go do, I don't know, construction. So that's a normal process for them. But the person's not, doesn't mean that person's normal. To them, the process is normal, but the person isn't normal. Like I would like, if you go to uni, so I said everyone that's normal goes to school, goes to uni. Is every single person at uni the same?
No.
Would you say they're all normal?
No.
Well,
I guess
because are you judging normal by like what they're doing for work? That's basically where it goes to.
I guess normal is how do I put it? It's then it's based on averages, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then again,
normal is just like career based.
I guess so, but also I think in my eyes, if you haven't got an ambition, regardless of,
I don't know. I guess.
I guess people don't have ambition, but I guess normal is dependent on, or it's typically seen as normal, and the typical route is what's. I take it based on the process.
So if you meet someone, I'm talking about the person themselves. If you meet someone and you speak for the first time, they don't mention anything about what uni they're going to and what they're studying. Can you say that person is not normal because they haven't done it, or do you go off their personality? Is what I'm saying.
That's a good point. Well, then you can't define a particular person as normal because they're all different in their own their own way, in the way that they bring about things, their opinions.
Yeah.
But then I guess,
so you saw someone every day and you really like the personality. You didn't see them as a normal person, but then a few years later they tell you, oh yeah, I've been to school, I'm going to uni next year, I'm going to study for 3 years and get a good job. But they suddenly become a normal person.
I guess if it's, I think I defined people by their process, and I thought I defined a normal person by their process. Like if this is the route you're taking, you're fairly normal.
But if I was the exact same person as I am now, and I was in uni, would I be normal to you? Or
it depends if you're looking at it as a derogatory term. Is normal derogatory if it's coming from me?
No. This is me. I think normal is just normally seen as, I would say, my idea of normal is just pretty calm, doesn't say or do much, just kind of normal to talk to. Do you know what I mean?
But I think I enjoy people having this weirdness or this like sprig of autism.
That's what I'm saying. You can't say that someone's normal because they go to. This is a difficult one. I think a lot of people that follow the same process, the process they do is normal. So, but I don't think that makes the person normal. If you know like that, if you know someone personally and they have weirdness, they're not normal.
Yeah,
they could go to uni and all that, but it doesn't mean they're a normal person. You could go to uni and be like a fucking psycho.
I get. It depends whether you define a person through their process or through who they are.
Yeah.
And then I guess if you meet someone who's,
and I do think that's completely wrong to define someone as an individual as what they're doing in terms of.
But then do you define people by their actions or their intentions? Because their intention is then part of their personality. Like this is why I intend for this thing. But
I would say your personality is architecture, but you're studying architecture uni, but that's not your personality.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go, this guy's.
But no, but I do
architecture.
But I do a podcast, so then you can kind of gauge my sort of personality from.
I'd say you're like a philosopher kind of person. Like you like to think and talk.
Yeah.
But you go to uni and that, but it doesn't mean to me, you're just a normal guy. Because you do other things and you have other personalities.
So then there's actions, isn't it?
But this is what I'm talking about. Actually, it's like genuine conversations I've had with you. It's what makes me define who you are as a person, not what you're studying at uni. I forget that you even go to uni. Like honestly, I don't even relate uni to you.
I guess that's a good thing. But in terms like okay.
And what happens when you've left uni? Are you just defined by what you do for your job?
In that case, it would be podcasting, but
but I wouldn't just say, oh, no, he's not normal. He just does podcasts. I would just talk about what you're like. I wouldn't say. I might say, oh,
well, that's
I might mention what you do as an idea of like kind of what traits you might have, but I wouldn't necessarily say that a normal person is just someone that does uni in a 9 to 5.
Well, then I guess as you said, if you'd say something to gauge like the personality traits they have.
Because like I said, I don't think anyone's normal. So
yeah. I mean, that was my original point. I don't think anyone is particularly. There's no average person.
Yeah. Average process.
There's an average process. I think there's a normal process. That doesn't make a person normal just because they go through that process. There are personality traits that differ people, But I guess if you define people through the actions that they do, which I think is actually not a terrible way to look at things, because you can't gauge someone's personality trait unless they've actually done something to prove that personality trait. It's like you can't call someone brave unless they haven't been in a situation to prove they're brave.
So I suppose it's more like saying someone has a normal life as opposed to they're a normal person. They have a normal life, they're not a normal person, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That works more. Yeah, I guess. What's that person like? Oh, his life's pretty normal, but he's, like, say, like, based off what you said, I say, oh yeah, Vansh, he's got a pretty normal life, but as a person, he's pretty, like, mindful and philosophical and likes to have deep conversations and stuff like that. But I wouldn't just say, oh, he's just a normal guy because he goes to uni. I'd say he's got a normal life, normal, like, current projectile of life, but then also you don't because you do a podcast and things like that. So
yeah, but then I don't know. I don't think normal is typically bad. I think it's like if you're
no, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think there is anyone that is normal. I think it's all down to maybe you can have normal people in your family circle or your friend circle, but I don't think you can enlarge it to an entire population. You could have a normal guy in your friend group because he's maybe the least weird.
Yeah.
And then you say he's more normal because he's not as weird as others.
But I think you can what's the word? You can scale it out to an entire population because everyone else knows what normal is. I guess that's how moral. There's a moral though. It's moral reasoning.
But the whole point of this conversation is that neither of us can even explain.
We can't explain what normal is. But then
I think normal is opinion based.
Yeah, it is opinion based because like if you have someone from the right and if someone from the left, they both look at each other as like weird people.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you believe what I believe?
Yeah.
But then again, there's
the right people are normal to the right people. All the left people are normal to the left people.
Yeah, and I guess this goes to this thing called moral reasoning. Do you know what moral reasoning is?
I'm going to assume it's reasoning on what's moral or not.
Well, essentially, if you think moral reasoning is something we do to figure out the truth, you constantly be frustrated by how foolish, biased, and illogical people became when they disagree with you. But if you think about moral reasoning as a skill we humans evolved to further our social agendas, to justify our own actions, and to defend the teams we belong to, then things will make a lot more sense. And it's just, instead of thinking about moral reasoning as this way to figure out the truth about things, like this is the glorified truth that we should all believe is the answer.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking of it that way, it's more, when people think that they have moral truth to something, it's more that they're using that as a way to justify their own beliefs and the way that they feel about things, instead of trying to actually figure out the ultimate truth to things. It's more of a defense mechanism against what they believe and the groups that they belong to.
I see what you're saying. That was a lot.
Yeah, it was.
Can you repeat the thing that you read out again?
Okay.
Just so I can take it in a second time.
If you think moral reasoning is something we do to figure out the truth, you constantly be frustrated by how foolish, biased, and illogical people become when they disagree with you.
Oh, right. Yeah, I see.
But if you think about moral reasoning as a skill we humans evolved to further our social agendas, to justify our own actions, and to defend the teams we belong to, then things will make a lot more sense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I agree with that, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's cultures have different things and they all believe that it's right for them, but they justify it for themselves. So, yeah, I suppose that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to end this off, if this podcast were the last thing you ever did, how does it feel to be sitting at the end of this question right now? What's a piece of advice you'd leave to everyone?
Really to think of that.
Go on, bro. Take your time.
Piece of advice.
Really sit in that situation. After this, you can't speak to anyone ever again. You can only leave one piece of advice to everyone you know.
I would just probably say, the first thing that pops to my mind anyway, based off of what I think, is just be really patient with people. That's honestly what I think. I think people that have like no patience with people, you just ask and to never have a good relationship or anything with anyone, because you can't. I feel there's two different terms of patience. Like sometimes people say, I'm really patient. They think, oh, right, is impatience in if your game takes 3 hours to download, it doesn't bother you. I think there's different terms of patience. Like I can be impatient sometimes if something's taking long to load. But I think in terms of patience with like people, I think throughout my life, I've never like had like a genuine confrontation with someone, maybe like with my older brother, but that's not the same. But like an actual confrontation or like argument or like fight with anyone, because I don't know, I find myself really like it would take so much for someone to make me like lose my temper. Like I think it's really difficult for someone to do that. Like nothing tends to really bother me, and I think that's just because I'm really patient. This is why I go back to when I say I want to, I don't know, maybe be a teacher or work in some sort of job where I deal with helping people, because like someone could be like so disrespectful to me and I won't like lash out or flip. I'll just kind of, whatever. And maybe if they somehow make it up or change, then I'm okay with that. So I just think, be patient with people and give people time, I guess, maybe. And just accept that people can change in certain ways. But just have some patience. But just in general, I just think, I don't mean like completely let everyone disrespect you and things like that, but just you don't get so triggered by stuff, and just have some patience and just understand that everyone has their reasons for the way they behave and things like that.
Yeah. Don't be so emotionally reactive to small problems.
Yeah, just have patience. Yeah, just don't like lash out and preserve your emotions a little bit. Yeah.
Well, Harry Teader, thank you for
No, you don't handle
use these items on the
Twitter or
road to Thailand. Wondering. Harry Teader, thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. First guest, it's a bit late.
Yeah, a bit late, man. It was. Where can people go if they want to see? Well, you said you were trying to film more content.
Yeah, I was trying to.
So, where should people go if they want to see more of that stuff?
To the gym and just watch me train in person.
Oh, it's not in the Instagram. Just
I don't know. My name's literally just Harry Teader, so that's what they'd have to put in. There's nothing interesting at the moment because I haven't filmed anything. So, but yeah, maybe something will pop up in a couple years' time. Who knows? But yeah, thank you.
Sick.